Hi guys, Brandon and Lana here. Welcome back to our channel. You probably have seen what's going on the news. Everybody's talking about how sky is falling, and we haven't seen the market since 2008 market like that. So here we are today to talk about the news and actually give you the firsthand what's going on in the market.
Yeah, so there are tons of headlines out there. The bubble is coming. We're already in a bubble. We're in inflation. We're coming towards a recession. I mean, you just pick your channel and something is telling you that there is something bad happening. The reality of it is not a lot of people know what's going to happen in the broad sense of things, but we'll tell you what's happening right now, and we'll explain a few things that are really important as you're planning to make your move, or if you're planning to make a move here in the near future. So let's start with addressing what is a bubble. What exactly, I mean, do you know what a bubble is? Have you looked up a bubble? I mean, besides a bubble, do you know what a real estate bubble is? I encourage you to go online. Don't take my word for it. Go online. Look at what a bubble is. And basically what they're explaining is it's when the market rapidly goes up and then it rapidly goes down. So what does that mean? There's going to be a spike in there somewhere. The funny thing is when on the opposite side, what is it? It's a crash, right? But at the same time, one of the things that we know is that in there, there's always the overall line of things is a steady line. And ultimately, the values of the homes will continue to rise at a certain pace. The reality of the situation, though, 2008 versus now, 2008, we didn't have equity in the communities, in the homes. There was a lot of predatory lending. There were a lot of factors that made it so that whole communities and whole cities, whole counties were being affected by it. Where if you fast forward, if you understand that almost 40% of homes owned by Americans today are owned without a mortgage. Absolutely no mortgage whatsoever. In addition to that, 50% of the people that have mortgages have mortgage rates that are under 4% right now. And that's huge. Understand that majority of the people in America either own their home outright or have mortgage rates that are less than 4% interest. That's huge. Understand that also there's a minimum average of 20% equity in each home based off of the recent numbers. The reason why that's important is because it would take a substantial crash. It would take a lot to be able to pull us down to the point where not only are we out of the bubble, but we're also down into a crash. Just because the market goes up and then goes down doesn't mean that we are in a real estate crash, which is another big thing. So the sky is not falling. There's still substantial demand. So understand that there are still 6 homes for every 10 buyers right now. Yes, things are softening. They're slowing down, of course. I mean, look at the interest rates. Interest rates for people who have been planning and have been waiting for the bubble, they have just screwed themselves. I mean, just flat out. In the last year, I have people, I'm waiting for the bubble. I'm waiting for them to go down. I'm waiting for prices to go down. And what you have to understand is when the interest rates go up the way that they have in a short period of time, then even though they are still substantially low, I mean, seriously, tell me what credit card you have that you can borrow large amounts of money at 5% interest. Yeah. Tell me. I mean, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, average credit card rate is 19.95.
Right. And I mean, you can talk about personal loans, things like that, but we're talking about a home loan of 5%. We're not talking about 20% like it was back in the 80s. So understand that even in, what was it, 2018, 2019? Yeah, 2018. Was when the interest rates were at 5%. We're not at a horrible point, realistically, but people feel like we are. Now, one of the things that's important to understand for you guys is part of this was expected. Understand that there was supposed to be a millennial boom between 2019 and 2024. We are between 2019 and 2024. What had happened in addition, though, is some people's timelines got expedited because of COVID. COVID pushed that timeline, and so it was expected that things would go up fast and then kind of feather off. And that's kind of where we are right now. They're still going up fast, and we expect that there's going to be seasonal corrections. But realistically, all it did was push people's timelines, because what happened in 2020 is that the party stopped. All of our parties, you know, we were confined to our rooms, houses, whatever, and we were forced to reflect on life and how we want our lifestyle, and or we were changed, or our job situation changed. There's a lot that changed in 2020. But in the big picture of things, the factors that caused home ownership or caused a change in home ownership was expected.
So pretty much don't expect prices to be pre-pandemic prices. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, there's a lot of people, and you know, just from what I'm reading, a lot of people don't expect prices to go back below 2019 pre-pandemic prices. And if you saw pre-pandemic prices, say that 10 times fast, if you saw those prices and you saw what was happening, we expected a bit of a slowdown at that point anyway, for maybe a year or two. In fact, if you look back at 2019, there was a lot of talk of an economic recession, and we kind of did go through that economic recession. It just was coupled with COVID on top of it.
So the bottom line, you guys, is sky isn't falling. It's not the same market as 2008. There going to be adjustment, and there will be correction to the market, but we will not see pre-pandemic prices. You're right. Say that sometimes faster. So real estate is always a good investment. Real estate is always good. Really depends for whom, right?
Well, yeah, and the thing you have to understand is it's something that your favorite phrase and mine too is. When is the best time to buy real estate or sell real estate? It's when you're ready. And you only know what your life circumstances are as to whether or not this is the right time to do it. But ultimately, we'll be able to help guide you as far as the financial aspect, the investment aspect, the reality aspect. But one of the things that we are expecting here is more inventory, which is a good thing. We're expecting more common moves, which is a good thing. We're expecting less bidding wars, which is a good thing. And we're expecting just a healthier market. So don't expect, in a year or two for homes to be potentially going off the market in less than 24 hours at the pace that they are right now. We're just expecting a little healthier of a market that's going to give a lot more people opportunities to buy that have been waiting to make that move, or sell and buy with confidence, knowing that they're not going to go homeless or have to pay rent out their rear for another year, where they're paying zero in equity versus actually making equity or having a home.
Correct. So we're trying to debunk the headlines, and if you guys will read the article,
the whole article, please.
Yes, you'll see that what we're talking about here is exactly what the article is addressing. So sky isn't falling, you guys. Bubble isn't bursting. We are not in a bunch of short sales and foreclosures. So if you think otherwise, feel free to comment. We'll love to chat with you. Reach out to us.
One of the things that I encourage you to do, if you want, is feel free to send us an article, right, or a video, something that you have read, watched, that you want us to answer. We're going to be happy to do that, address it with you, and give you some real practical answers to today's market.
This is it. Check out our other videos for actual weekly updates on the market. Thank you for sticking around, and see you next time.
Bye.
Well, darn it. Because I don't know.
Some real life.
What am I trying to say?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've been trying to figure that out for years.